Okay, so this again is January 29th, February
Yeah.
29th, 2012.
Yeah,
Resuming recording.
Yeah, when I was in Kadalur,
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
when I was in Kadalur, 1964, Geet was born. And the same year, my father died. He was in Madurai visiting my brother, Govindraj, who was in Madurai at that time. And he fell and broke his hip. And they had to do some surgery. And after the surgery, he was bedridden for almost a month, and he gradually deteriorated and died. Actually, Geetu was born after that, so she has not seen him at all. And then 64, I was there for only for 1 year, and then I was transferred to Stanley Medical College. And 65, Kulch was born in Madras at the Kalyani Hospital. And so then we were, by that time we had sold the house in Chulai, 28 Montiket Street. And we have moved to Nungambakam. I bought a house in Nungambakam, that is Jambalinganakan Street, number 10 Jambalinganakan Street. So we were there, and we were all attending the Good Shepherd Convent there. And of course, from there only, 67, I was sent to Tinuveli. And at that time, the house was rented. And in Tinuveli, I kept there for about 2-3 years. And then I decided to come to United States. Again, when I left the country, those days the foreign exchange was very, very tight, and India government would not release any foreign exchange for people going abroad. And I was given $8 to come to America. So with $8 we came, and 2 or 3 doctors were coming in the same flight. So we stopped in, we had to change flight. We came by Alitalia, and we had to change flight in Rome. We had about 6 or 7 hours layover. So we wanted to see the city, and we didn't have money. So we had to pool our money and hire a taxi. And the 3 of us went around and saw the fountain, and then the basilica and all those things. When I came to New York, I was met by Ramurthy's brother, who was in New York. Sampath. He did not come, but he sent his nephew, Balaguru, to the airport. And I came alone at that time. My lieutenant in Nungambakam, and the kids were again put in Good Shepherd Convent. And then he met me at, he took me there, and then from there, my first station in America was in Kentucky. It was a Harlem Regional Appalachian Hospital in Kentucky. I did surgical residency there for 1 year. And first I wanted to just come and test how it goes. So I came alone. But later, within 2-3 months, I decided that you can also come and we'll be able to manage. That's because, we were living within our means, and that's how we always did in India. You don't even buy a house without cash. In Jamaligan Street house we bought with cash, no mortgage. See, here in America, everything you can, even if you don't have money, you can have everything on credit. But anyway, so I came and unfortunately within 3 months or so, my mother died in Madras. So I felt so bad that I had to leave and come. But anyway, because I could not also go back at that time, so I couldn't go for the funeral also. And then I decided to bring mom and the kids to America, and of course Sampath, Ramurthy's brother who was in New York, he advanced the money for the ticket, which I repaid later on. And we sent tickets to all of you. And you came and met us in Harlan, Kentucky. And you went to school in Harlan. We had a very small apartment called Browning Apartment that was rented by the hospital, but it was only 1 or 2 bedroom, right?
2 bedroom.
2 bedroom. So I had to put bunk beds and the kids were in, but we were all small at that time. So you were going to school, and I didn't have a car at that time. And the surgical residency was so very demanding that for days together I won't be able to come home at all. Late hours, and even after that, all night emergencies and things like that. There's been times when 2-3 days I could not come home at all. And you were all small, and mom was alone, so with a new place, so we can't even go for grocery shopping, things like that. So we found it very difficult at that time. So then I decided that I should go for a less demanding or strenuous job. So that's how I changed over to psychiatry. So then I bought my first car there, which was a Dodge, a small car, 4-door and quite convenient with automatic transmission and all those things. Even without money, they used to put the credit on credit. Now, if you have a job, then they give the car, and you have to pay in monthly installments. So in that car we traveled around, and all 7 of us used to be there, and also sometimes Ramurthy also would come, and all of us used to fit into the car and spend the night. And later, like I said, I wanted to move to a specialty where there is no night cars, no like this, like surgery. So I looked at pathology and psychiatry. Pathology also they offered me in Allegheny General Hospital, Pittsburgh. I went for interview. And then I thought, but psychiatry was paying more. Psychiatry residency was highest paid, with regard. Whereas surgical residency, I was being paid when I came. I was paid about $10,000 a year. So the psychiatry residency in Petersburg, Virginia, was over 15,000, almost 50% more. So I took it. And the problem was to find a housing, because nobody will allow 5 children. None of the houses will allow. They asked me to go for a 4-bedroom, 5-bedroom house, which is very expensive. So finally, I told them that I won't be able to come. Then they decided they arranged for a house on the grounds in the hospital, which worked out very well because it's a big house, colonial, with I think 3 or 4 bedrooms, and within the hospital compound. So that's where we spent the first 2 years, 70 to 71. I was in Harlan, Kentucky, and then 71 to 73, I was in Virginia. And Bhuvan went to Virginia. He graduated from Dinwiddie High School, and Jay also went to Dinwiddie High School. And all of you went to Dinwiddie School, but middle school and high school.
Yeah. Do you remember, sir?
Mm-hmm.
We used to go on bus, long ride.
Yeah, the school bus will come and pick them up. And so then when I got a little higher paying job, then I bought a bigger car, that is a Ford station wagon, quite roomy one, in which all of us used to fit in, and also if you turn this seat down, you can put some comforters, and all the kids could lie down on that seat. So we did travel a lot on the thing. And I remember once when Virginia, we drove over the weekend to Florida and Cape Canaveral, and saw the Apollo 16 blast off. And we drove all night after you finished your school, and came and saw the Apollo 16, and then went back by Sunday night, and you were going to school on Monday morning. Nobody would believe that you went to Florida to see the Apollo 16. Anyway, we had some good times like that. And then what happened was, for one vacation, I came to Connecticut. My old friend Ranganathan, who was one of the interviewers for Indira Pandian, he was in Connecticut, in Rocky Hill. So I visited him. When I visited him, he said, "Why don't you come to Connecticut? That's a nice place." And the state, Connecticut state job was good. Good in the sense they provided housing and also commissary benefit, which means for a nominal sum of say $10, $11 per person, say it will work out to 7 of us will be $77. They will supply the whole month's groceries and everything that you need for household, from toilet paper to paper towel to eggs, meat, ice cream, everything. They used to bring it and deliver it home. And also they used to take the dirty linen and launder it and press it and bring it back. So I thought this is a good thing. So I decided to move, although the salary was little less than Virginia. But it was worth it because these other benefits. So we were, first when we came, I went to 2 places, one in Norwich and one in Newtown. In Newtown they said they have a big house, but then they said it was not available at that time. So I took Norwich. There also they gave a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom house, colonial. And but when I was there in Norwich, Dr. Scales, who was the chief of professional service in Newtown, he gave me a call and said, the house is available, will you switch over? So at the end of the year, after finishing the residency, the 3rd year of residency, I decided to come to Newtown. And I think you remember the Newtown house. It's quite a big one. And again, same thing. All the maintenance should be taken care of, and all the food and other things should be supplied. But unfortunately, these things did not last too long because there's a lot of publicity and also criticism saying that the state doctors are being pampered and things like that. And so finally they cut off the commissary benefits. Okay. And in lieu of that, they gave a small increase in the allowance, but that was no substitute for what they were giving by way of commissary benefits. Anyway, having come here, I stayed there because the housing was at least good. And we used to buy our own groceries and things like that, but the maintenance was not taken care of. So in 73, I finished 74 July I moved to Newtown. But before moving to Newtown, I put my things here and went to India. And when I went to India, Mom's father, he died. When we went to Tirupati for some darshan and other, he had a heart attack. Even before he had a heart attack, but then he survived and he was pulling on. So he died, 74. And then we came back and continued to stay here. When we were in Tirunelveli itself, Mom's mother died. Okay. So, in Tirunelveli, the house that we had, of course, all these rural areas, like I said, in those days, they did not have the modern facilities like a toilet and all those things. They had most of the houses had this. They'll have a hole there, and you have to ease yourself there, and it will go and fall down, and then every morning some scavenger will come and take it off. That type of lavatory only. That's why the lavatory will always be outside of the house. And in Tirunelveli we had to go out, and in Tirunelveli, of course, there was snakes. We have spotted so many snakes, so we are so scared to go out in the night to go to the bathroom. Anyway, we just survived all that. And like I said, from Tirunelveli I came here. No? What else? Then from Newtown, I came in 74, and everything went well. But then in 75 I had a heart attack, and that was devastated me. I got so scared, and because all the kids were small, and I had to look after the education and marriage and all those things. So anyway, what to do? Things have happened, and anyway, so I studied hard and passed my board examination. In 76, I took the exam. I passed my first attempt, and after getting the board examination, I got promotion. And I think in 80 or 81, of course, I was working 2 jobs even then. I used to work here in Newtown and also in Bridgeport, in the mental health center. One day a week I used to go there. Because we were brought up in such a way that we never overspent it. We always tried to save. So I did save money, even whatever I got. We lived within our means and saved the money. And so, what was I? Okay. 75, after that, 81, I was promoted as the Chief of Professional Service. And of course, there's a lot of my neighbor, Dr. Ramchandran, he had a lot of ill feelings because of that. because he thought that he deserved that post. Anyway, so I was there, then I was the chief of psychiatry and all that thing. And by that time, I had my, in 81 March, Jay was married. 81 then. Jay was married. We came to India and Jay was married. And 79 or so, Bhuvan married Mohan. 77, Thiagu came to India to do his medicine. I brought him here, and Mani Mamma and Mata Mora, both of them helped and got admission in the medical college. And so, having grown up there, he had used to all these facilities, so I put him in the best hostel, it was called World Students,
World University.
yeah, World University Students Housing or something like that.
Yes.
That had all the modern facilities like, toileting and things like that. But that was an expensive one. Not everybody was there. So that's where he met Kedar's brother also he met. And again, in 79, he had this motorcycle accident. He went in motorcycle and he was thrown out and had a head injury, and he was in the hospital. And nobody told me. Ramurthy was supposed to be his guardian there, and because Thiagu told him not to tell me, so he never called me. He never told me. Then suddenly, one day I got a call because the neurosurgeon there wanted to operate on him. And so then for permission, then Ramurthy called. I was so mad that he did not call me earlier. So immediately I got the message in the morning, and the afternoon flight I took and went to India. And I saw Thiagu and the neurosurgical unit. Like I said, the hospital has deteriorated, and it was not as clean as it was before. And in the neurosurgical ward, there were cockroaches and things like that. So I didn't want him to have any surgery there. So I wanted to take him out. But then the question was whether he will be able to travel. So I moved him to a nursing home in Pulmali High Road. And then I got another neurologist to come and examine him and give me this thing saying that he can or cannot travel. So he examined and he said, oh yeah, you can travel. The reason why they wanted to operate in General Hospital neurosurgical unit was, there was no CAT scan in those days. It's ridiculous. Now CAT scan is every street corner available in Dras. But then there was no CAT scan. Either you had to go to Bombay or Bellu. So we thought if I'm going to that place, why I might as well fly to the States. So I was in touch with Bhuvan, and she made arrangements to the Yale University, Yale Neurosurgical Unit. And so we brought him over here and admitted him straight away. And they took the CT scan and said there's no hemorrhage and said there's no need for surgery. So it was a blessing. Otherwise, they would have operated. And already they caused some damage. They did an angiogram, that is injecting a dye into the artery and to visualize the brain, vessels in the brain. That could have been avoided if CT scan was available. Okay? But the danger in this is it produces spasm. When the dye goes into the artery, it produces spasm. And sometimes people even develop hemiplegia or stroke. So he actually had some weakness at that time, but luckily he recovered completely. So that's why I didn't want anything to be done there and brought him over here. So that was in 79. And then, of course, 81, Jay was married in Madras. And of course, 79, after this happened, I think I sent you guys to India because I didn't want to stay alone in the hostel. I rented a house and put you all there with a cook. And also I bought a car. You know, in those days, buying a car also is difficult. Even though you want a new car, not like now. You have to have influence to get the car because there are allotments, quota. Okay? So with some influence, I had to get a new ambassador car and put a driver also and put him in Anna Nagar. Well, anyway, Jay and Bhuvan Vardala, Jay, you and Geet, okay? We're here with them. So 81 we married and 82 or so we graduated, so we all came back to the States. And then, what happened?
1 second.
80.